If you're a creator here in Canada, there's one question that's probably always rattling around in your head. How much money can I actually make from this? Well, today we're going to decode the Canadian YouTube paycheck, and trust me, the answer is probably not what you think.
This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? We all see these creators with massive channels, but what's the real story for someone starting out right here in Canada? Getting a handle on this is so important because it's the difference between YouTube being a fun hobby and it being a full-blown career.
But here's the catch. If you're looking for one simple, magic number, you're just not going to find it. The truth is way more interesting. Your earnings all boil down to one single, powerful metric. And once you understand it, you're going to see your channel in a completely different light.
So what is this mystery metric? It's called RPM. I know it sounds a little technical, maybe a bit like jargon, but it is the single most important number for understanding what you actually make from YouTube ads. Once you get this, everything else just clicks into place. So what exactly is RPM? It stands for revenue per mille, which is just a fancy way of saying your total revenue per 1,000 views. But here's the most critical part. It's calculated after YouTube takes its cut. This isn't some theoretical number advertisers talk about. This is your real pay rate. It's the money that actually lands in your bank account.
And this brings us to another term you've probably heard, CPM. This is where folks get confused, so the easiest way to think about it is with a pie. CPM, or cost per mille, is the whole pie. It's what an advertiser pays to get their ad shown. But your RPM, that's your slice of that pie. It's what's left for you. And that's why your RPM is the number you need to be watching.
So just how big is YouTube's slice of the pie? Well, here it is. For standard ad revenue, it's a fixed split. You, the creator, gets 55% and YouTube takes 45%. That's the deal. Knowing this helps you see how that big CPM number advertisers pay gets whittled down to your actual take-home RPM.
Okay, so we know YouTube takes a 45% cut, but that still doesn't explain why one Canadian creator might have an RPM of $5 while another has an RPM of $20. What gives? Well, it turns out there are three main levers that control how valuable your channel is to advertisers.
All right, here are the big three. First, and this is the most important one, your niche. What your videos are actually about. Second, your audience, specifically their geographic location. And third, your viewers' behavior. You know, stuff like how long they watch and whether they're using ad blockers. Let's break each of these down.
Okay, look at this table. Niche is, without a doubt, the single biggest factor, by a mile. An advertiser selling investment software is willing to pay a heck of a lot more to reach an audience on a finance channel than a snack company trying to reach a gaming audience. The difference is just staggering. We're talking a potential RPM of over $30 for finance versus under $5 for entertainment. Same views, completely different paychecks.
Next up is where your audience lives. The simple truth is that not all views are created equal in the eyes of advertisers. They pay a premium to reach viewers in what they call Tier 1 countries, like Canada, the US, and the UK, where people typically have more spending power. This means a channel with a mostly Canadian audience will almost always have a higher RPM than one with a more scattered global viewership.
And finally, there's viewer behavior. A few things can give your RPM a nice little boost. Videos that are longer than 8 minutes can have ads in the middle, which means more opportunities for revenue. It also helps, obviously, if fewer of your viewers use ad blockers. And don't forget seasonality. Ad spending always spikes in the last quarter of the year for the holidays, pushing RPMs up for pretty much everyone.
Okay, let's make this real. Theory is great and all, but let's see how these factors play out with a practical example. We'll look at two hypothetical Canadian creators to see just how dramatic the impact of niche really is. Meet the money maven and the gaming guru. Both are Canadian, both are super talented, and both just had a video hit 100,000 views. A huge success. But just look at the earnings. The money maven in the high-value finance niche pulls in an estimated $1,500 from that video. The gaming guru in a much lower RPM niche makes $450. Same work, same views, wildly different results.
Think about that for a second. On a single video, the difference is over $1,000. That is the incredible power of your niche. It has nothing to do with who is a better creator. It's purely about the economic reality of YouTube's advertising market.
But this is where the story gets even more interesting. Because if you think successful YouTubers live and die by their AdSense revenue, you are missing the bigger picture. Let's look at the real creator playbook.
This is where the strategy really comes together. Look at how AdSense compares to other income streams. Sponsorships can be worth 2, 3, even 5 times more than AdSense for the exact same number of views. And when you start adding in things like affiliate marketing and memberships, it becomes so clear that AdSense is just one piece of the puzzle. For most full-time creators, it's not even the biggest piece.
And this brings us to the real takeaway here. Think of AdSense as the foundation of your house. It's essential, it provides stability, but it's not the whole structure. The real money and the long-term security comes from building on top of that foundation by diversifying your income. You have to shift your mindset from chasing views to building a business.
You know, I think this quote from the source material just sums it up perfectly. Building a sustainable career as a creator isn't about one viral video or a good month of AdSense. It's a long-term strategy. It's about building a brand and creating multiple streams of income over time.
So I'll leave you with this one question. Instead of asking how many views can I get, start asking what kind of value am I creating? Because once you start creating value that attracts a specific audience and high-paying advertisers, you're not just making videos anymore, you're building a real business.